Okay, you guys, this story is actually insane. Like, at first glance, it looks like another TikTok GoFundMe, someone asking for help, people donating, all that. But then you start peeling back the layers, and it turns into this messy web of accusations, betrayal, hypocrisy, and confusion. The deeper you go, the more you realize this isn't just about money, it's about trust, manipulation, and the way the internet decides who deserves sympathy. Because what started as a heartfelt GoFundMe to help a mother fight for custody of her son has now turned into one of the most chaotic dramas on TikTok. And the wild part, everyone involved has receipts, everyone has their own version, and somehow everyone's the victim. Let's talk about how Desiree's GoFundMe, the one meant to reunite her with her son Deshaun, spiraled into an all-out war between creators, ex-friends, and entire fan bases. So here's the thing. Desiree, one of the moms in the Resilient Jenkins orbit, recently launched a new GoFundMe. The goal? To raise money to gain full custody of her son, Deshaun. Now, this GoFundMe wasn't created by her directly. It was organized by Kristen Swanson, who TikTok knows as Monty's mama. Yes, the woman behind Monty's movement. A cause she started after tragically losing her son Monty in a car accident years ago. Through this movement, Kristen has helped other moms in tough custody battles, so she decided to help Desiree too. The GoFundMe was titled Around Desiree's Fight for Deshaun to get him back fully, not just weekend visits. The campaign stated that the fans would help her hire an attorney and pay legal fees to finally win full custody, especially considering how chaotic things have been with Stephanie, Deshaun's stepmom, who many believe puts the child in uncomfortable situations.
So Miss Desiree has a new GoFundMe up to help her get more custody or full custody of Deshaun, and some people are upset. And I don't really understand why. Can someone please help me understand the Desiree hate? Because all I see is a mother who is putting in time, money, and effort to get her son out of an extremely neglectful and abusive situation. Him literally living in a motel room for months and months on end now. And people are disrespecting this woman. Why? Maybe the videos and comments I'm seeing are from Stephanie's backup pages, or these are just Stephanie's supporters. She has done nothing to show that she doesn't deserve full custody, or at the bare minimum, partial custody of her son. This is not Stephanie's son.
So far, the GoFundMe has raised over $7,000 from 227 donations, aiming for a goal of $10,000, meaning she's almost there. Many people donated immediately because they truly believe Desiree deserves her son back and that Deshaun deserves safety and stability away from Stephanie's unpredictable environment. But of course, with the internet, it was only a matter of time before the whispers started. As support to Desiree grew, so did the whispers. You know, that feeling when everyone's cheering for someone online and then suddenly people start to side-eye? Yeah, it was that kind of shift. Viewers began whispering, then openly asking the uncomfortable question no one wanted to say out loud. Wait, what happened to the money from her first GoFundMe? Her first GoFundMe wasn't some small thing. It had pulled about $10,300, nearly double the original $5,000 goal. That initial campaign had one clear purpose: to hire a lawyer to finally get more visitation rights and control over Deshaun's schooling and medical decisions. And honestly, she delivered on that. The court granted her weekend sleepovers, listed her as Deshaun's primary parent on school and medical forms. Like, legally, she got a win. On paper, it looked like the perfect success story. But here's the thing, and it's the part that made everyone pause. She raised twice what she needed. That leftover $5,000, it just kind of vanished into thin air. And you can imagine how the internet reacted. People started digging, asking, demanding explanations. Every new comment section turned into a mini courtroom. Some defended her, saying maybe there were hidden costs. Others were convinced this was a straight-up red flag. During all of this, Desiree wasn't alone. She had an advocate at the time named Rights and Rights, a creator who was basically her online voice, her guide through this whole legal and PR mess. But then they fell out. And the reason? That same mysterious leftover money. The tension grew so loud that the public could practically hear it through through their screens. When no clear answer came, the rumor mill took over and the labels started flying. Words like scammer and clout chaser were being thrown around. Some even compared her to Stephanie, saying she was no different, just another mom using her child's situation for sympathy, views, and quick cash.
Okay, so I wasn't going to talk about this, but I'm going to talk about it because you know what? These scammers piss me off. Now, if you guys follow the Resilient Jenkins, you'll know that Drew Jenkins has a son with a girl named Desiree. Now, a few months back, there was some issues with Desiree. She did a GoFundMe. She wasn't able to obtain all the money, but when a advocate who claims she's a professional advocate helped her obtain that. And within that process, they were actually collecting Cash App and PayPal as well as the GoFundMe money. The GoFundMe money got over $10,000. I believe it was $10,300. And now there is another GoFundMe up for $10,000, which again got over more than what they asked for. Now, let me bring you back to the first GoFundMe. So the first GoFundMe, Right and Rights and Desiree were able to obtain a lawyer, and they used $5,000 for obtaining that lawyer. That lawyer helped Desiree get overnight visits and visits with Deshaun. So he's not completely away from his mother. He's been seeing his mother, and Stephanie does not post him anymore. So a win's a win, right? Well, she asked for $10,000 more so she can go to court for full custody. Okay, that's cool. That's great and all. I want you guys to realize this. This woman has asked the whole internet for that money when she claims to work herself. She also doesn't have custody of 2 of her other children, and she visits with the children. So Deshaun isn't ever by himself with his mom. So get that thought out of your head completely. May I add that the first time this took place, it cost her $5,000. Why did she ask for $10,000 again? Oh, that's right, because she needs the $5,000 so she can live out her lifestyle the way she wants, because she says that she has to skip work and do all of this, that, and the other. When her and her boyfriend, who is also a criminal, I do want to remind you guys that that boyfriend she has is a criminal, and they live in a 1-bedroom apartment. Yes, exactly what Drew and Steph moved out of, they live in. And like I said, she has 3 kids total. When Deshaun is there with her, she has another child, and they're in a 1-bedroom apartment. There's 4 people. Yes, it's a little less cramped, but it's the same thing. And this isn't me defending Stephanie, because last time this happened, everybody was like, I'm defending her. No, I think they're equally as bad. This child does not have a safe place to go. He's already traumatized, and it's going to continue happening. But hey, the parents are getting paid, right? Careful of who you donate to, because you never know what that money's going to. And yes, I'm here to call you a scammer, because when you use money you ask for in a different way than when you asked for it, that is a scam. You're welcome.
And honestly, you could feel the shift in tone online. The same people who had been rooting for her were suddenly confused, maybe even betrayed. It wasn't just because of the money anymore. It was about trust and whether Desiree had broken it. This is where everything started to unravel. Like, the moment you realize the story isn't as simple as you thought. When Desiree launched the second GoFundMe, the one she said was to finally gain full custody of Deshaun, people absolutely lost it. Comment sections were blowing up. Everyone was like, wait, hold on. Didn't she already raise money for this? What happened to that first 10K? You could almost hear the collective gasp through the screens. And honestly, I kind of get it. The first thing people brought up was the leftover 5K from the previous fundraiser. They were like, if that money was really for legal fees, then why not just use what's left? Some supporters felt conflicted. They wanted to believe her, but something about the timing felt off. And this is where the whispers turned into full-blown allegations. The internet being the internet, people started digging. Court records, housing details, even screenshots of public listings. Everything was suddenly out there. They claimed that Desiree lived in a small 1-bedroom apartment with her husband and 2 kids, which meant that Deshaun did not even have his own room, completely contradicting what she had said in court about his living arrangements. And then someone pulled up her husband's criminal record, adding more fuel to the fire. The way they framed it online was brutal. They said, how can she claim to be the more stable parent when her home situation looks like that?
So, the woman Kristen Swanson, who is the organizer of the GoFundMe for Deshaun and Desiree, said 2 weeks ago on a live that she wasn't even the GoFundMe holder and that it was attached to attorney. So there's lie number 1. And then also, Kristen Swanson, who is aka Monty's mama on here, is in cahoots still with Alicia May, and Alicia May has the GoFundMe in her bio. She's posting pictures of Deshaun. But Alicia, isn't your husband, let's see, these are his charges over here. He's a pedophile involved with multiple minors, and then you were defending him, and so does Kristen and Arlita. Y'all defend your pedophile husband.
Post it. Whatever's wrong with your children, baby, is probably because of you and you're a demon seed. said was the same thing that people say about Bubba, is that.
And then also, Kristen Swanson is the same one who sat up here for days straight, and she still does to this day, as she was talking about my son last night in live. She is still sitting here slandering autistic children. So you guys want to sit here and slander autistic children, my autistic son, and then you guys support pedophiles and pedophilia, but yet you want people to donate to y'all? And then you're still sitting on this fucking app to this day lying about me and using your late son for clout off of me, saying that I was involved in some type of fake page made about her son. Y'all got so many problems going on, and y'all support the most weirdest shit and shouldn't even be on this app.
Now, whether any of this was true or just another round of internet digging gone too far, no one really knows. But what was clear is that the narrative had shifted and fast. It wasn't about helping a mom anymore. It had turned into a public investigation, with strangers playing detective and deciding who was the hero and who was the villain. And the craziest part, while all this noise was building up, the creators, the ones who had been rallying behind Disney, started stepping in. And that is when everything really exploded. This GoFundMe did not just divide viewers, it divided the very creators who had been united against Stephanie Jenkins. Suddenly, people who once stood side by side were accusing each other of hypocrisy, clout chasing, and double standards. One of the biggest names dragged into was Morgan, a creator who's become known for covering the entire Jenkins saga. Morgan was called out for not sharing Disney's new GoFundMe link despite being one of her biggest supporters in the past. Her followers asked her for the link, but she did not add it to her link tree, saying she had never spoken directly with Disney and that the fundraiser was doing fine without her.
Address this stupid ass Resilient Jenkins bullshit, because this GFM shit is really dumb as fuck, and because I did not put a link in my bio when y'all said to put a link in my bio, all of a sudden I don't support Desiree or her son. When I made this video was when I knew that there was another GFM, and since I didn't put the link in my bio when y'all said to do it, all of a sudden I'm all of these things. Not one time has Desiree messaged me personally, has thanked me, or asked me to support her new GFM in the way that she wants me to post the link in my bio, not just make a video. Even though I made a video talking about Desiree getting custody back because of this new GFM, I have supported her this whole time. And y'all are now making videos saying that I'm doing the opposite, all because I did not attach the link in my bio. Everyone knows who Desiree is. It's really not that hard to find a GFM link. Stop making it seem like there's more to it, because there's not. Anyways, y'all have a good day.
That response did not sit well with people. Many accused her of profiting off Disney's story without actually helping her. They said she was willing to monetize Disney's pain but not promote the cause itself. And when confronted, Morgan said something that only added more fuel to the fire. She claimed she did not post the link because Disney never thanked her for the first time when she shared it. Yes, really. From there, it just snowballed. Tiara Nicole, another creator, called out Morgan for mentioning her in a video. Morgan had used Tiara's picture while defending herself. Tiara said it was weird that Morgan, who constantly posts other people's kids and images in her videos, suddenly did not like it when someone posted about her.
Okay, y'all, things are going on. Things are going on. Y'all need to pick up the phone. Do y'all see what's happening right now on Resilient Jenkins Talk? So basically, remember how I came on here and I told y'all, I was like, hey, I don't know the Jenkins personally, but I profit off of their content. So the least I can do is, share the GFM so that Desiree can get Deshaun back, right? I feel like that's the least that any creator can do. I mean, you're profiting off of their content, correct? Well, apparently I wasn't the only creator that felt some type of way that another creator had posted about the GFM, but never shared with her followers how to get there. They in the comments talking about, is there a link? Is there a link? How do I get there? How can I donate? She never responds to them. In fact, I don't really see her responding to any of her followers when they ask questions anyway. But people was talking about it, right? So apparently now more people were saying like, oh, this person must be associated with Mama D and the people who are like against Desiree because she is talking about the GFM, but she ain't posting no links and she ain't sharing no information on how to get there. Even if you don't support it, I mean, why not share how to get there so that other people can support it and you have a very large platform? You know what I mean? Just seems kind of eerie. fuck saying all this little subliminal shit. Basically, Morgan said she's not going to share the link to the GFM. She said the GFM is doing just fine without her sharing and telling people how to get there because they can find that information elsewhere. Basically, she was like, and she's not going to share, it because Monty's mom or Mama D, whoever she's talking about, she said someone who lost their son. And I know that Monty's mom has lost her son, and she was like, and she's upset. And Morgan was like, and she's just upset that I'm not going to post her on my page. Huh? I don't really know what's going on. I thought everybody just wanted her to share the link or just at least acknowledge that how to get there so that her followers can, help if they want to help, if they choose to help. And she was like, she don't owe nobody shit. She was like, because this is her page and she can post what she want, which is true. But it's like, damn. But now y'all know for a fact, hey, y'all know who y'all following. Like she said, she really it's her page. She can post when she's not gonna post it. Basically, she's just letting y'all know she will not be sharing and telling y'all how to get to the GFM. Now, I don't mind sharing it. If you want to get to the GFM to help Deshaun get out of the situation, because this is like a real thing. It's not just content. These are actually real people and could actually be hurt and be being abused. If you want to try to get him home, the link to the GFM is in Monty's mama's link tree. You can also get there from Nails by Arlita's link tree.
It turned into this messy back and forth between them. Morgan then shifted the focus, saying the backlash wasn't about Desree's GoFundMe at all, but because she refused to post about Monty, the deceased son of the woman who organized the fundraiser. She said Monty's mama, Kristen, was mad at her for not posting tributes about her late son, which somehow got tied up with the GoFundMe situation. Morgan argued that she did not need to post the fundraiser because it was already doing well without her. It had already hit 7K, and she did not understand why she was being attacked.
The last GFM was over $10,000. Let's also talk about the fact that I literally brought up that there is a new GFM. The only thing that I did not do that y'all are disapproving of is not putting the link in my bio, which nobody, by the way, has respectfully even recommended me putting in my bio. And the reason for that is the person that is running the GFM right now, Kristen, she has been accusing me of things that I am not a part of, all because I will not post her dead son on my TikTok. And yesterday, she was on live with all of her little friends coming at me for not posting her son. And then she started saying that, oh, well, she didn't also post the GFM link either. So this is all straining from the GFM maker or account holder, whatever you want to call her. She's mad because I will not post about her son on my TikTok. Let's loop back to the $7,000. It's at 7K without me having to put the link in my bio. $7,000, and I have only made one video talking about the new GFM. Actually, 3 videos now. Let's also not forget that Jenna Van Opdorp was the one that reported the first GFM and trying to get it taken down. But now Jenna and Kristen, who is doing the GFM for Desiree, are all buddy-buddy now. So I find that really weird that y'all are coming at me.
But the damage was done. People saw her as cold, opportunistic, and dismissive. While all that chaos was unfolding, something else made the internet completely stop and stare, like jaw on the floor levels of confusion. The people around Desiree started shifting, almost like musical chairs, and suddenly we were seeing new faces in her corner that no one expected. Out of nowhere, Jenna. Yes, that Jenna, the same woman who used to ride for Stephanie Jenkins like it was her full-time job, was now Team Desiree. I'm not even exaggerating. My jaw actually dropped. Because if you followed this saga, you already know how wild that sounds. Jenna wasn't just some random viewer. She was one of Desiree's biggest harassers back in the day. She called her a neglectful mom. She pulled out all the eviction and conviction records, and she did not stop there. She actively tried to get Desiree's first GoFundMe taken down, reporting it for fraud. Like, imagine that. The same person who once did everything to tear this woman down was suddenly in her support group. And as if that wasn't enough, she also went after Rights and Rights, Desiree's former advocate, accusing her of pocketing donation money. It was nonstop. And then suddenly she's friends with Monty's mama, the same person who organized the new GoFundMe, and both of them are on Team Desiree? No. Because at that point, everyone's watching like, I'm sorry, why'd they mention a re-in? It felt like we'd entered an alternate reality. The hypocrisy was so loud it could echo. This new alliance did not just raise eyebrows, it raised full suspicions. People were confused, angry, and honestly, a little grossed out. How could the same person who dragged Desiree through the mud now claim to be fighting for her? What changed? What's the motive? Morgan did not miss a beat. She jumped right in and called it out, saying Desiree's whole team was full of double standards. How are you going to call her out for not posting a link while causing up with people who literally try to destroy you? And that is when it hit me. This fundraiser had completely drifted away from what it was supposed to be. It wasn't about Dishon anymore. It wasn't about custody or safety. It was about people proving who's the better ally, who's the most loyal, and who could come out looking the least messy. It was about people proving who is the better ally, who's the most loyal, and who could come out looking the least messy. It turned into this performance of morality with everyone trying to rewrite their roles in the story, and honestly, it just felt exhausting. Like everyone was auditioning for the title of hero in a story that stopped being about the child a long time ago. Another huge twist came when people noticed something strange. Desiree did not even have the GoFundMe link in her own bio. Yeah, the woman the fundraiser was for wasn't promoting it herself. That is when Morgan threw another jab, saying it made no sense that she was being criticized for not posting it when Desiree herself did not have it up. She also pointed out that Desiree had let the person who organized her fundraiser, Monty's mama, speak publicly on her behalf, even though that same person had been in contact with people who once harassed her, including those who reported her old GoFundMe. Morgan questioned why Desiree would let that happen if everything was really in good faith. Now, some people speculated that the reason Desiree did not post about it herself could be tied to court orders. Maybe she was restricted from publicly speaking about the custody case or Dishon. If that's the case, it makes sense she stayed silent, but to the outsiders, it only fueled more doubt. Was she hiding something or just trying not to make things worse? Even Nicole, who had initially criticized Morgan, started to waver. She said she did not want to say too much and risk hurting the fundraiser, but she admitted that some of Morgan's points were valid, like why was Jenna suddenly on Team Desiree? Why was everything so confusing? That is when Alita, Drew's first baby mama and another strong supporter of Desiree, jumped in. She commented on Nicole's post saying all of this would be explained in a live stream. In that live stream, they finally tried to clear things up, or at least that was the goal. The energy was tense, you could literally feel it through the screen. They started by explaining why Desiree did not have the GoFundMe link in her bio, and honestly, when you hear it, it does make some sense. They say the last time she had that link up, it caused complete chaos. People started digging through her past like it was an open book, twisting stories, spreading misinformation, and even using it against her in court. So this time, she wanted to stay out of it completely. Like, imagine knowing that something meant to help you ends up hurting your case. I would be terrified too. To keep her from getting dragged through the mud again, Alita decided to handle the fans instead. Every donation, every cent would go straight to the attorney. None of it would touch Desiree's personal account. That way, no one could turn around and say, oh, she's spending the money on herself, or where did the funds really go? It was a clean system. At least that's how they wanted it to be. And honestly, on paper, that sounds smart, right? It's like they were trying to learn from the past, but still, it's the internet. Once the damage is done, there's no rewind button. By the time that live stream aired, people had already made up their minds. That trust was broken, the sides were drawn, and the GoFundMe had stopped being about Dishon a long time ago. It wasn't a movement anymore, it was a mirror, reflecting all the messy, performative activism and clout chasing that had taken over what was once a cause about justice. It's honestly so sad when you stop and really think about it. Like, this was supposed to be about a mom and her son, about a mother trying to bring her child home. And now it's just another circus on TikTok, another trending topic. The irony of it all is painful. The same people who claim to care so much about Dishon's safety are the ones turning his story into content. Hashtags and endless debates. It's like everyone's forgot that there's a real child at the heart of it, at the heart of all this. And I keep thinking, imagine being Desiree right now. Just picture that for a second. Every move you make, every silence, every post, being twisted into a new headline. Imagine waking up and seeing strangers dissecting your parenting, your finances, your home, all while you're still trying to fight for your kid. It is exhausting just thinking about it. Or worse, imagine being Dishon years from now, scrolling through old videos and seeing all of this online. People arguing about your parents, using your name in titles, and fighting over who cared more. It makes my stomach turn because this was never supposed to be entertainment. This was supposed to be about family, safety, and healing. It's genuinely heartbreaking and uncomfortable to watch, and it makes me wonder, do people really care about these families or do they just crave a new storyline to pick apart? Because at some point, the lines between concern and content got so blurred, it is hard to tell who's helping and who's just talking. So now we're left with this one question. Was this GoFundMe ever about Tishon or was it always about everyone else? Between the creators fighting for moral high ground, the shady alliances, and the constant suspicion, it's easy to forget there is a real child at the center of all of this. Because at the end of the day, whether you believe Disree's intentions are pure or not, this story shows how quickly empathy can turn into exploitation online. The internet loves to play judge and jury, but sometimes the people doing the judging are just as messy as the ones on trial. Let me know what you think, guys, because honestly, I don't even know what to do. I don't even know what to make of this anymore. Was this about helping a mother, or was it just another round of influencer drama dressed up as advocacy? Either way, this GoFundMe scandal isn't going away anytime soon. And something tells me the next chapter is coming soon.